right. So we are here with another great interview for the Women of Influence Summit 2021. I am your host, Kimberly Lawson of Lawson Learning Academy. I'm just so excited that you are continuing to watch all of all of these great interviews with all of these wonderful, influential women. So without further ado, right now I have in the guest chair with me Miss Virginia J Fassio. Hi, Virginia.
Hi, beautiful Kimberly. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. You have a beautiful accent. Tell everyone where you are located.
So at the moment, I am in London, UK. My background is Italian. That's why you can hear an accent. But I lived in Australia for 5 years. My husband is Australian. So, a little bit all over the place.
Hey, I love it. That just means you are well traveled and cultured. I love it. So tell all of the attendees who are watching this wonderful interview a little bit about you.
Sure. Very excited about this. So I am a 37-year-old woman with a little girl and a husband. And I started my entrepreneurial journey pretty much almost 2 years ago. And I am very much deep down in my heart a freedom seeker. So this is the main thing that I try to achieve every day in my life. And when I say freedom seeker, it's from a personal point of view and also from, of course, a financial point of view, right? And I've been on a journey in the last 2 years where starting my own business online has really brought me to step out of my comfort zone big time. Probably one of the biggest personal development experiences that I've ever had so far. And I'm really loving it. So I'm really excited to be here, share more with you all.
So what do you mean when you say freedom seeker?
Very good question. So I have really tapped into my own fears and my own limiting beliefs, my own self-doubt and self-judgment for a very, very long time. And I had very, very dark moments in the past where I was, depressed and suicidal. So I come from a space where I really was ready to, just completely stop everything. And definitely wasn't my time back then. And I decided if I was still here, I needed to make something good out of it. And so all that experience has really brought me to a stage where I want to feel myself free as possible. And I know that most of the times we are not achieving the dreams that we have because it starts from us first, right? So from us telling us crazy stories that might even be true and fears that have been holding us back for such a very long time and, limiting beliefs and people pleasing and self-judgment, all that kinds of package that in a way or another, I believe that all people have, mostly, in our society where we're so conditioned by culture and, media and all that type of stuff. So free from within in order that we can get freedom from in the outside world. So this is very much what I stand for.
I love all of that. And I love you being transparent about, struggles that you've had emotionally, psychologically. I love that because, too many women are not able to I guess really to own it, to say that, you know what, I did have this struggle. I have been able to move past it, because I feel like when you share your story, your testimony, you really help someone else connect and give them that hope that they too can overcome.
I get goosebumps when you say this. Yeah, absolutely. It's so important. And I believe that very often I heard so many incredible stories that has really pushed me to step out of that victimhood or playing small and have give me that little kick, to just jump back on my track and, keep restarting my engine, even if I felt, defeated or depleted. And I think that a lot also come back to why we do things. So why, for example, in this context, why do you want to start a business? And what is your why? What is actually the thing that is pushing you out of bed every morning, which I found fundamental, at least for me, to motivate me to get ahead of what I want to do.
Right. So do you mind sharing your why? Like, why do you get out of bed every morning? Why did you start a business?
Absolutely, it would be my pleasure. I think that this is actually one of the biggest gifts that I have received starting my journey, where I've realized that in my past years, I really always dreamt to be an entrepreneur. I really wanted to be my own boss. I really wanted to be the one that is ruling my life and not someone else is choosing for me. And I come from a family and a background where no one in my space has ever been an entrepreneur. So everybody has always been self-employed. And if I look back in my lineage, very much, I think that, if I go back in a few generations, all the women have always stopped their dreams and passion and given up on that to be in the mother and wife and housekeeper role, right? Of the one that he was taking the family together, but that was the main and only thing for them and nothing else. And so I grew up in a space where I saw my mom giving all her life to us kids, me and my brother, and arriving at a stage where she wasn't very happy and fulfilled. And that brought so much sadness into my heart. And in a way, fear of arriving at a stage in my life where I wasn't happy with where I was going. I wasn't happy with who I was and what I've built it. Because definitely I wanted to have a family, I wanted to have kids, I wanted to have a husband, and all those things have happened in my life, and I'm incredibly grateful. But that for me didn't mean to give up on who I am, right? On who I was. So my why is to really be the first woman in my family and female lineage to change this pattern, to be the one that it's like creating a new story and showing my daughter that we can actually be our best self and do what we really love in life. Because when I was little, I wanted to be a dancer. I want to be a professional dancer. I wanted to be on stage and dance and just do that. And it didn't happen for different reasons. But I remember the one specific one was at the end of high school, my dad, we had a very, full-on conversation where he sat me down and he asked me, okay, what do you really want to do? And I was like, well, I'm not sure. I think that, I really want to go to an art school where I can dance and sing and perform. And he said to me, honestly, look, we can't afford that. I can't pay for that fee for you to go back and forth from Rome and pay for that. So if you really want to keep studying, either you go to the local university, which is very, very cheap, and you can pursue your language skills and, then get a good job, and then you can pay your bills, and then you can have a good life, and so on ever after. And so in a way, I kind of got stuck at a place where I had to choose, what am I going to do? Am I going to just go ahead with what my dream was? Or maybe I just step into these kinds of box comfort zone where majority of the people that I knew were going. And I went that way, but that way brought me here. So in a way, it's perfect. I'm super grateful of that, right? Because maybe if I pursued a dancing career, this would have never happened. And the fact that I'm talking with you, it's actually one of the things on my vision board to become an international speaker. And so, thank you for having me. It's actually bringing my dream into reality even more. But that's my why. It's really to show my daughter that she can create a life out of a passion and out of her dreams and not giving up on them. And women absolutely can have it all. So it's not just, the man that can have a career, the man that brings the money home, the man that can decide how to spend the money and do the things. No, we can be free, we can be powerful, we can be independent. And it starts with me.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So I love your story. I love that journey. I mean, the energy from you is just really it's coming through on camera. And so I love that you said you still ended up in a great place. And it instantly made me think about a movie that I don't think people remember as much as I do. It was a Gwyneth Paltrow movie called Sliding Doors. And it shows her life if she catches the train, and it shows her life if she misses the train. But in the end, because she didn't give up, she didn't quit, she still ended up in the place where she was meant to be. And so, even though you did not get to pursue what was your passion and your dream at the time because you did not give up, on having the happiness, on having a life that you design, that you love living every single day. You ended up in that place. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I can share a little secret, I actually brought dancing in my life back again, because a year ago I started a project where I actually rock up in the middle of a city and I start dancing in the street, and it's called Dancing in the Streets of Your World. And it very much a movement that I'm, nourishing and creating. Now with COVID, it's on hold, of course, but the desire is really to bring awareness to people to be expressed, fully expressed, and celebrate life and bring a smiles on people's faces.
Oh, I love that. Oh my goodness, you are really crushing goals and living your passion. But I love that you said that, because there is this misconception, this myth that only men can have it all. Like
Mm.
a woman, you have to choose. You have to choose career, or you have to choose family. You choosing to have a career that you're passionate about, or run a business, or you choose to be a mother. And
Yeah.
I don't think that you have to, there's no choice. You really can do it. It's just about finding that balance.
Yes. Look, it's not perfect, right? It's not that easy. It's very challenging. Fully transparency. I have days where I would love, to pour my hair out, and I'm already fully gray. So, I don't want to lose it all. But I feel that if we try to do business as men has always done business, and business has always been done till now, it's very hard. It's never going to work for us. It just brings us to a stage where we are completely depleted and we are completely upside down. And so the idea is to create business in a different way, which is more aligned to who we are. We are women. We need different things from what men do. And we need to, for example, one of the things that it's important for me is to consider you have a business, but if you are the business as well, then you come first, right? So if you start your day and you are completely exhausted, depleted, and you don't fill your cup first, there is nothing that is coming out of you, whatever business you're in. It doesn't matter the field, right? But so you want to nourish yourself as much as possible, because otherwise you don't have anything to give. And that goes from an energy point of view, and also from a financial point of view. The idea of always paying yourself first. So every time that you have something coming in, put a little bit aside so that you can keep creating your saving, and like a good solid safe pillow of financial security. Like pay yourself 10% first and then do everything else. But I think that we are at a stage where women are making crazy shifts around this planet. And I don't know, but I am very grateful to be in a community where there are a lot of women that are making crazy stuff happen. And it just shows everybody else how possible it is. And it's beautiful, because then it really gives each other's the permission to do it, right? Because if it's just men, and then those few women doing it are so much in their masculine and so much in the hustle and so much in the way they do business, then the majority of us will never allow ourselves to do it. And we're always like be sitting here dreaming of it, but never taking any action. So
I agree.
yeah.
I completely agree. So you have a young daughter. When you think about the legacy that you want to leave behind with your daughter, and her seeing, how happy you are with a life that you're designing. It doesn't mean that it's perfect, that you're happy with it, but it's a life that you have designed. What are you hoping that you're teaching your daughter about life and business?
Good question. I ask myself every now and then if I'm doing it right. Look, I really hope to inspire her to pursue her dreams. There are definitely days where I work until late, because maybe during the day I didn't have the time to do all the things that were on my list, right? Because I was, dealing with the house things and her, and so I think that the trick is to find the balance and do the things that make you feel happy and fulfilled. At least, try to aim for peace and, fulfillment as much as you can. So that moment that you go to bed at night, you say, okay, I haven't done everything that I needed to do, but, I feel satisfied and I'm grateful. And so, try to implement those simple little things every day in saying, okay, I'm grateful for all those things and I'm celebrating them. I'm actually learning to celebrate my wins. Mostly the smallest one, because those are the ones that will, stack up and then are going to allow you to receive the big wins. Because if you only receive the big wins, celebrate the big wins, but not the small one, it's very hard the big wins will arrive, right? So, start with the gratitude in the morning, and so gratitude at night before we go to sleep. So all these bits and pieces that I think she's, receiving inputs. And in my tribe, we celebrate money a lot, and we see it as a beautiful energy, as something that allow us to have choice in life, right? So money it's so powerful, and there is a lot of work that we do about rewriting our money story. And so, for example, not every day, but very often, and mostly when there is money coming in whatever direction, we do the money dance. So, we just stand up and we start to dance and sing, I love money and money loves me. I love money and money loves me. And she does that. If I just start to mention that, she just goes around the house singing and dancing, I love money, money loves me. So it's funny.
I love that. And so I don't know if it has, went viral to the point where it's seen international, but there was a car salesman in America. It's been maybe a month ago now. He popped out of the back of a car in the commercial, and he was singing a song "Where the Money Resides." And so I like your little dance now too. I think I will add that to my outside of doing "Where the Money Resides." I love money and money loves me. I like
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
part of manifestation, though, and people don't realize that, that is how you manifest things. You have to really have those beliefs. You want to embody it. You have those affirmations. You have to believe it, and it can be fun. It can be fast.
Yeah, absolutely. And in my case, I wasn't taught this stuff when I was little, right? So it's something that I've started to discover very recently and has completely shifted my way of looking at life and approaching things. And, even the idea of saying, everybody now is talking about manifesting, it's like such a big advertising word, manifest your life, manifest your dreams. But yes, of course, there are two stages. First of all, visualize and have the right image of what you want to achieve, but then do the action, because nothing will happen if you just sit and then wait, oh yeah, I'm manifesting $1 million, but I don't do anything, right? No, that's not how it works. And the other thing,
We wish it worked that way, but it does not.
That's the lottery ticket. It's very different. But no, something that I've very much discovered in this journey is that it very much starts from self-worth and self-love. Because if you don't love yourself and if you don't feel that you are valuable enough, you can think and try to manifest everything, but it's very hard because you are the first person that is not allowing yourself to receive everything that is there for you. And so it goes back in effect to, do some work on yourself, see where you are blocked, see where you are holding yourself back. So that's where the freedom from within starts for me.
Yes, I agree. So you shared with me when we scheduled this that your goal is to influence 100 women in 2021. Why
Yes.
goal?
Yes. Powerful one. Yes. And very much to help them and show them how to really create more of a space in their daily life of personal freedom and financial freedom. So this is where I'm heading towards to. And, it's a big goal, 100 people that really step into the space and not that they get it straight away, but they actually start to put that into motion even more if they already have, or starting to get that if they haven't yet. So
I love that though. Aggressive goals are not a bad thing because it really you have to be intentional,
yes.
to achieve them, and that goes into the celebrating small wins. If you celebrate your small wins, so if you hit 5 women and you and your daughter are doing the dance and you're really celebrating that, it feels good and it motivates you to keep going. It's the same way that I think about how I used to potty train my boys. I have 2 boys. And, every time for, the first couple of weeks when, we pee-peed in the potty, we were going to have a celebration. It was dance time. It was happy time. You ate all the vegetables on your plate. Let's celebrate. Let's be happy about that. And as women, we really need to get in the habit of doing that more, because that helps you stay on track to achieve those big goals. Because what's the saying? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So other than, wanting to really continue to live a life that you're designing, that you love, having that, being that freedom seeker, and, the online strategist, influence women, what are your other passions? What else are you hoping to accomplish and do?
Oh God, that's a very good question as well. I think that the more empowered and free we are, the more we can give to others. So the idea is that when I will arrive at a stage where I can financially support projects, I actually very recently wrote a list of all the different things where I would love to invest money in different charities and in projects, and my own projects like this movement of dancing in the street, and collaborating with other people out there that are doing amazing stuff, building water wells. My community, part of percentage of everything that comes in inside the community is actually donated to building water wells and building schools for kids. And so it's like the idea that you don't build a business just for making the money and then just holding it tight and just sitting on it all day, right? It's very much you fulfill your needs, everything that it's important to you, it's necessary, and it makes you have a good, safe, comfortable life. And then what will make me fulfilled is actually to help others and give back. I think that that's the biggest joy, right? To see someone else actually achieving something and be happy and be able to create things for themselves to help others. When I was little, I think I was like, a little crazy dreamer, but I really say to myself, I want to leave this planet knowing that I left it in a better way than the moment I came in. And I try to do that as much as I can, even, for now, with what I share online and my offerings, and sharing my story and collaborating with other people. And I think it's a journey, and the more you grow, the more your vision will expand. Now I can't see things that I might be able to see in 5 years' time, because I would have grown in a different way from what I can, even imagine now, that more doors will open. And I'm saying this because 2 years ago, when I started, I wouldn't have ever imagined to, for example, have situation like these or others that I've been experiencing, right? So you want to have, sorry, I think my speaker is going off, but you really want to keep your vision in front of you. And it wants to be a vision that includes others and not just you. I hope that you can hear me still.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So yes, 100 women. If you multiply that, where each and every single one of them will impact another 100 women, it's a crazy game. The numbers just escalate. And I feel that the more women can do this for others, the more we create sisterhood. It becomes really the moment where we can change this planet, we can change this humanity, which we all need it so badly at this time, right? We need to make big changes. Otherwise, it's pretty tricky, I think.
I agree with that, and I love when you say, you're not making all this money to just hold it. Like, you don't want to be King Midas. You don't want to have all this gold and you just want to sit and count the gold. Like, you should always give more than what you take. You should give more than what you receive. So I like that. So Virginia, what is your advice to a woman right now who's watching this interview, who is not happy with where she is? She has a family and she's well taken care of, but she's not feeling fulfilled, and she's contemplating taking a bold leap to make a change. What's your advice?
Well, I guess it's be honest with yourself and draw that line in the sand, right? Where you will become that brave woman that it's already inside you and take the first step. And the only thing you have to do is take that one first step. You can't just go from 0 to 10. You need to go from 0 to 1. And so take the first step. And that might look like, if you have never been in business before, go and look for the right counsel. And this is something that I learned the hard way, where I wanted to do something different for my life. And instead of going and asking to people that were already in business, that were already having the results that I wanted to have, I went to ask to Uncle John, that was living his life on the couch, watching TV all day and eating chips and just, and that's just an example. But I just went and asked about what I could do to the wrong people. And I was starting from a space where, as I said, I didn't have experience, I didn't have, the knowledge, I didn't have the skill, I didn't have a lot of stuff. So I really needed to build myself from scratch. And if you do that, going and asking for help or direction or guidance to the wrong people, that's never going to work. So go and look for the people that actually have the results that you want in life, and ask them, and find a way to work with them, and find a way to learn which were the steps that they have done to get them to where they are. And one of the most easiest secrets of success is just copy what successful people have done before you. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just, try to learn as much as you can, as fast as you can. And of course, you can't change completely your life from one day to another, but start to make that space in your daily life. Maybe every day find an hour to go online and educate yourself about new opportunities, new options, and go and talk to people that know someone else that has something different. And I think that that's probably the first step. And then look for people that can really support you. Look for people that can really nourish you in a way, because if it's true that we are the 5 people that we surround ourselves with, that's the biggest thing. Like, if you are surrounded by people that are always complaining in a victimhood space, always just repeating the same thing and nothing have a change, and you just stay with those people all the time, it's going to be not impossible, but so freaking hard, I believe, to really start to create something different for yourself. So if you look at your environment, the place and the relationship that you are in, and you can see that they're not healthy, then allow yourself to say, thank you, I love you, but I want something different for my life. So I'm going to look for other people that have a different vibration, that have a different energy, that have a different vision for what they want to do and be. And so, yeah, and look for so a good tribe with a good vibe that gives you accountability as well, right? That keeps you accountable to the fact that you want to do something different. So not finding yourself alone, because otherwise being an entrepreneur and being in business can be very lonely and sad and scary sometimes. And it might be very easy to step out of it because you have emotions and challenges and a lot of stuff. So you want to be surrounded and also held in a way as much as possible, of course.
That was phenomenal, phenomenal advice, especially about learning from someone who has done it. There's nothing you can learn about being an entrepreneur from someone who has not really walked that walk. Because like you said, it's difficult. It can be lonely, and you want to have the right energy. I am not a science person, but I did learn that energy can never be created nor destroyed, merely transferred. And so you don't want the negative, the downtrodden energy being transferred to you. You want that positive, that energetic, that energy that really is motivating, it is inspiring to you to be around you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so important. So important.
Oh my goodness. So, Virginia, I have truly enjoyed talking with you. I know that all of the ladies who are watching this, I know you guys have taken some notes because Virginia has given you some wonderful, usable advice. Any final words for the attendees?
Yes, I would love to share just last thing about do something that you love and something that makes you feel fulfilled. And fulfilled in terms of your vision. So if you don't have a vision yet, it's fine. We don't all start with a beautiful, massive, perfect vision, but start with the thing that is most closer to your heart right now. What is the one thing, just one thing that you really want to make different in this 2021, and find a way to make that happen. Gather all the tools, gather all the resources, gather all the help and the support that you can get. And the other thing is, it's just not all about you. So being in business, it means for me to be at service of others. Because if you're providing either a service or a product, a physical service or product, you are solving people's problem. And it just doesn't come from a practical point of view for me. It comes from an energetic and spiritual point of view. You are at service of others. And sometimes might be just answering a phone call and just, having a conversation. And maybe that won't turn out into someone paying you straight away. But I believe that it will come back in you in maybe 10 other ways. Or you would create connections and you will create and grow your network. So sometimes there is the tricky bit of saying, oh, but if this is not, bringing me money or this amount of money, maybe I'm not going that way. And sometimes it's the right choice. But some other times, if you're really coming from the heart and you put yourself at service, you have a different approach to life and to people. And that will reflect also on people that are around you, like the closest one, they will see you, doing good to the world. So it's not just about you. It's all about the other people that you can impact.
I love that. That's a great final, tidbit for everyone. It's not just about you. I love that. I love that. Virginia, thank you so much again for being a part of the Women of Influence Summit 2021. Your wisdom has definitely been shared, and it is appreciated.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Kimberly.
All right, so ladies, continue watching all of the interviews of the Women of Influence Summit 2021. Again, I'm your host, Kimberly Lawson of Lawson Learning Academy. I hope that you have enjoyed this interview as much as I have. Have a great day and continue watching.